I request you to kindly take your seats? We are just about to begin. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can I request everyone to kindly take their seats? We're all waiting for you to take your seats so we can begin. I would request all the guests to kindly take their seats so we can begin this fabulous awards ceremony that we all have been waiting for eagerly. I would request all of our esteemed guests to kindly take their respective seats, please. Ladies and gentlemen, now that everybody has taken their seats, well, almost everybody has taken their seats, and the rest of our guests who haven't, I would request you to kindly take your seat. We won't be able to begin this very auspicious day, this very auspicious evening, without your full attention. Okay, thank you so much. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste, Adab, Sat Shri Akal. My name is Pavleen Gujral, and I welcome you all to the 4th edition of JK Paper Presents Author Awards in association with the Times of India. Can we have a big round of applause on that, please? Thank you. Sounds like a great room. Well, the Author Awards were established to promote and support women authors, providing a platform for them to showcase their creativity and passion for writing. The awards celebrate the art of storytelling from a female perspective. Believe you me, it's different. It recognizes the unique and diverse voices of women in literature. Through this initiative, our aim is to recognize exceptional works of writing by women authors, with the hope of inspiring more women to explore their passion for writing and encouraging them to pen their own stories with pride and confidence in their abilities. We have seen an overwhelming response this time in all the 5 categories in this edition of the Author Awards. Can we have a big round of applause for that, please? A fantastic response, such a response we have never gotten before. But before we begin, I would like to call upon the stage Ms. Vinita Davra Nangia to describe the tremendous progress of this initiative in her inaugural address. But before that, I would like to introduce her, who is an accomplished author, a columnist, and executive editor online with the Times of India. Apart from her role as the curator of the Author Awards, Vinita is also the director of the Times Literature Festival. Furthermore, she is the founder director of Write India, the world's largest crowdsourced writing movement. She conceptualized and launched this project to identify the next generation of writers and provide them with opportunities to showcase their talent. Please put your hands together for Ms. Vinita Davra Nangia. Ma'am, can I request you to come on stage, please?
Good evening. Shabana Azmi ji, eminent actor and our chief guest for the evening. Mr. Harshpati Singhania, Vice Chairman and Managing Director, JK Papers. Shashi Deshpande ji, this year's Lifetime Achievement Award winner. Our eminent jury for Author Awards, respected publishers, authors, colleagues, and dear friends in the audience. Welcome to the 4th edition of Author Awards, a joint venture between JK Paper and the Times of India to celebrate women writers, their diversity of voices, richness of stories, and the impact of their writing on the literary world. Invisible for the longest time, hiding behind anonymous or male pseudonyms, women were held back from telling their stories because telling her story empowers a woman. But now today, they are breaking down barriers and paving the way for future generations of women writers. In October last, the Inter-Parliamentary Union announced that only 6 countries in the world out of its 178 members can claim that they had at least 50% female representation in their parliaments. The 6th country that joined the group was New Zealand in October 2022. The rest of the world's parliaments, including those of the G7, the most powerful nations of the world, are overwhelmingly a man's domain. In India, women represent only 14% of the total members of the Lok Sabha. We were also told that globally, only 26% lawmakers are women. Alarmingly, the report pointed out that overall, the progress towards gender parity is stalling. The risk of reversal is intensifying. At the present rate, says the forum, it will take 130 years to reach full parity in the parliaments. 130 years. But not so with the publishing industry. Recently, an economist at the University of Minnesota, Joel Waldfogel, made a heartening discovery after researching the contribution of men and women to the book publishing industry over the last 70 years. He found that by 2020, for the first time in history, women were publishing more books than men. Women's share of published titles increased from about 20% in the 1970s to over 50% by 2020. And the reassuring news is that women did not displace the men. In fact, the whole industry grew once more women started writing, and by 2021, female-authored books sold more copies on average than those written by men. As a result, there are a lot more books in the market today that offer us narratives and perspectives that belong uniquely to women. The conversations around diversity, inclusivity, breaking away from stereotypes started a long time back. But we can actually see these getting louder and getting internalized now. Not taking away from the efforts of millions across the world, I think we can safely say that in our own little way, with initiatives such as the Author Awards, the Times of India and JK Paper are doing our bit in paving the way to a more equitable universe in the future, a world where decisions will be taken and opportunities ladled out based not on gender, race or the color of your skin, but on sheer capability and deservingness. In a year when the Nobel Prize for Literature went to a woman, Ani Arnaud, and India's Gitanjali Shree and her translator Daisy Rockwell received the International Booker Prize, there is the danger of celebrating too soon and too much. Celebrate we must, but it must be done keeping the larger picture in mind, remembering we still have a long way to go. Do remember that of the 119 individuals who have received the prestigious Nobel Literature Prize since 1901, 102 have been men and only 17 women. The scene with the Booker is better. So far, 35 men and 18 women have won the prize. Back home, till date, only about 8% of the Sahitya Academy Awards have gone to women. This is no matter of chance, but a matter of a systemic bias that permeates the literary world. We need to create more opportunities for women authors to showcase their work and to receive recognition. We need to challenge the stereotypes and biases that limit women's access to the literary world. The question never was, nor is, whether women write better than men or vice versa. The point is that women must be read as writers, not women writers, and their writing be appreciated without being presumed to be inferior or marginal only because of their gender. Our chief guest for this evening is veteran actor Shabana Azmi, who has through real and real life always been a strong votary of women empowerment, questioning traditions and nurture in the role of women in society and the way we bring up our boys. Also present with us today, as I said, is eminent novelist Shashi Deshpande, who writes with deep insight into the female psyche and exposes the tradition that trains a woman to play a subservient role in the family. We are blessed to have amidst us two of these strong, independent-minded women who have had great careers and been an inspiration to thousands of women from all spheres of life. Coming to the awards this year, ladies and gentlemen, we received around 1,900 entries. Yes. The entries went through a thorough auditing by Grant Thornton, after which an expert screening committee of diverse backgrounds helped us go through and choose the lot that would reach the judges. A panel of 3 judges for each category, and they're all sitting here at this table, was selected. And fiction, non-fiction, children's books, and debut were the 4 categories. Headed by one jury chair, we shared the criteria to be employed, and the judges took upon themselves the daunting task of going through all the books. First, a long list was arrived at for each category, then a short list, and finally the judges are ready to announce the winners today. All our shortlisted candidates are also here with us. I take this opportunity to sincerely thank Mr. Harshpati Singhania for his keen interest in the process of writing and reading, the publishing industry, and his contribution in instituting this award. Thanks to our judges for their time and expertise, and our team at TOI for their unstinting efforts in planning and executing this amazing event. I congratulate all our women authors present here. Let us work together to create a more inclusive and equitable literary world, where all voices are heard and all writers are recognized for their achievements. Keep writing, keep inspiring, and keep making a difference. And to end, in deference to Shabana ji's presence here today, I dare to quote Kaifi Azmi ji, and I hope I get this right, Gustaki maaf. कोई तो सूद चुकाए, कोई तो सूद चुकाए, कोई तो जिम्मा ले उस इनकलाब का, कोई तो जिम्मा ले उस इनकलाब का जो आज तक उधार सा है. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinita ji, for your kind words. Now, I would like to call upon Mr. Harshpati Singhania, Vice Chairman and Managing Director, JK Paper, to share his thoughts on the initiative and the response over the years. Can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Harshpati Singhania, please?
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening to everybody here. And first of all, I must say how delighted I am to see this lovely turnout where the hall is jam-packed and full. And as Vinita ji just said, when we started, I think we had about 800 odd nominations, and this year we are almost touching 2,000 within a span of 4 years, which says something, I guess, about people wanting to be at this event or be a part of this whole event. Shabana ji, Shashi Deshpande ji, all the jury members, jury chairs, all the authors, and all the other people who've gone to encourage, to make this event. First of all, a very big thank you from my side. I'm delighted that in season 4, we are seeing such interest. In 2019, JK Paper and Times of India decided that we join hands for this award. And I must tell you something very interesting. This time when the first ad came out for the Author Award, announced the opening of the season for Author Awards, I got a mail from somebody saying, there is perhaps inadvertently a typo in the spelling of author. And honestly, and this comes from a person who's very well read, and obviously, in all genuineness, this person thought there was a mistake, and being a well-wisher pointed this out. And then I said, no, it is deliberately spelled this way to emphasize that it is the her in the author that we are trying to seek. So that was the interesting part of this. So these awards are about celebrating the art of storytelling, encouraging women authors to express their creativity and fondness of writing, and most importantly, to give them a platform to be recognized. It highlights the contribution of women authors who have, despite, as you said earlier, the various biases, they have added value and creativity. But our idea here is not just to have one award in the year and that is the end of this. We are trying to curate a year-long engagement, and we organize sessions at colleges, at schools, at popular bookstores, and we also conduct what are called master, T-H-E-R classes, to encourage young people to learn how to write, to understand a structure, the formality of it. And this is happening on digital platforms. So these are also encouraging, and we want to do more events to keep the engagement going through this year. I only take satisfaction from the fact that now we have people writing to us to say, please include my book or my novel, which I think is very gratifying to hear. That means this is something that people are genuinely interested in. It's not something which is, a push that we are asking people to come, but there are people who are coming here. So that is very good. What is exciting, we already have several categories, but what is exciting to me is that this year we have introduced a new category called manuscripts. And the idea here was to encourage young students, female students between the age of 14 and 18 to bring up their books. And, we look at their authoring. So we will, from JK Paper, get the best manuscript selected, published from a renowned publisher. And that is something, and actually the publisher is here. We are very thankful to that. And this would provide a new encouragement, I would suppose. I've often been asked the question, but why has JK Paper forayed into this? And some of the things are very obvious. Paper is equal to books, and books go back into paper. So that is the most obvious part of it. But we felt that this was a category that was underserved. But as I was speaking to Shabana ji on the sidelines just now, and she said, it's a double-edged thing. Why single out the woman in this? And I said, well, I guess that is true, but I guess they have been underrepresented in many ways, and therefore we want to encourage and emphasize. And when I see many more people applying, and the kind of turnouts that we're having now, it shows that there is great encouragement for this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to introduce you to Shabana ji. She is very well known. Vinita ji has spoken about her. But I would just add my own, gratitude for your being here, my own welcome. And just to say that I have been a great fan of what you have done, both in theatre as well as films. And you've also been an author. So thank you very much for being here. I must recognize one more person, which is Shonali here. You have also associated yourself as a brand ambassador for this event, and thank you very much for doing this. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for each one of you who is here, all the jury chairs and all the people in the jury. And I met somebody who had a cast on, and I asked her that I hope it was not because of the books that you were carrying. And you said actually it was part of that, right? But anyway, thank you very much on that note. And now to the next part of the program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Singhania. I would request you to kindly stay back on the stage, sir, to welcome our chief guest. Can I request you to kindly stay back on the stage, sir? Thank you so much. And I would also like to invite Vinita ji and Mr. Ashok Bindra, Director of the Times Group, to kindly come up on stage to felicitate our chief guest for this evening. Can I request both of you all also to welcome our chief guest? I would like to try and say a few words, but as Mr. Singhania said, words fall short when describing our chief guest for today, but I will try. She is not only a highly acclaimed actor who is known for her outstanding performances, but is also widely known for her activism and social work. She is a big advocate for women's rights and various other social causes. She is the daughter of celebrated poet Kaife Azmi and stage actress Shaukat Azmi, wife of film writer, lyricist and poet Javed Akhtar. Through her art and activism, she has become a symbol of strength, courage and compassion, inspiring generations of Indians and people around the world to stand up for what is right and just. Her eloquent voice and unwavering commitment to social justice have made her a beloved and revered figure in the Indian cinema and beyond. Please put your hands together with a huge... Ma'am, I would request Mr. Singhania, Vinita ji and Mr. Bindra to kindly welcome our chief guest with a memento. Can we have the applause going, please? We are absolutely honored and delighted to have our chief guest here today. Thank you so much, ma'am, for gracing this occasion. Thank you, Vinita ji. Thank you, Mr. Singhania, and thank you, Mr. Bindra. I would request you kindly take your places, please. Thank you so much for the honor. After a lovely photo op. Ma'am, can I, after the lovely photo op? Shabana ji, I would request you to kindly come on the podium and say a few words. A big round of applause, please.
Adab, Namaskar, good evening. Friends, I was all ready to say some very important things. Vinita has already done that. I was all prepared to say other important things. Singhania ji has done that. तो अब मेरे पास है ही क्या कहने के लिए? सिवाय इसके कि there has been this debate. Why is it that we must single out women for any work that they do when it comes to the art? And like Vinita said, for far too long, they've been suppressed, for far too long. Also because in India, I think the tradition of oral history has been so great. We've all heard stories from our mothers and our grandmothers, and usko kabhi kisi ne likha nahi. Aur ek waqt aisa aa gaya tha that women, not only in India but everywhere, they had to use pseudonyms because it was considered not a women's domain. But the world would be poorer if we didn't have women's voices. Shashi Deshpande ji is here. I have grown up with Ismat Chugtai. I have grown up with Kurutal and Heather. Can you imagine the stories that they have written? They could not be written by men because they have a gaze which is a woman's gaze. And that's what we are celebrating here. Because for far too long, it is the male gaze that has informed everything that concerns us in life, whether it's politics, whether it's the arts, whether it's science, whether it's anything. And women are saying, we are 50% of the world and our voice needs to be included in the global dialogue that is taking place. There's a lot of confusion when you say women authors, but there is absolutely no bhar on them that they have to only write stories about empowered women. It's the gaze that we are talking about. She can write a thriller, she can write a scientific novel, she can write a love story, she can do anything but the gaze. Because I think for far too long the woman's gaze has been excluded from the global dialogue. And I think that the stories that the women have and are talking, their voices that are being heard, like I said earlier, is something that we celebrate, and I really do congratulate you for this effort of yours. And I particularly felt very thrilled when you said that it's not just a one-off event, that you're going to take it to various people. आज के दौर में जब कोई पढ़ता ही नहीं है, तो उम्मीद ये करते हैं हम कि क्योंकि औरतों की आवाज़ें इतनी नहीं सुनी तो कम से कम उनको तो पढ़ेंगे. But really the fact is that the woman's world has been a cloistered world. The woman's stories have yet to be told, and I think the time has come when we do this. And one of the things that this award celebrates is encourages, जैसा कि आपने कहा, आप लोग अपनी तरफ से कह रहे हैं कि please include us. So I congratulate you for this, and I congratulate the people who are going to win, but I think you have such an esteemed jury for them to take out the time and to actually read those books, and it's a big thing. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you, Vinita. Thank you, Singhania ji. Thank you, all of you. And Shashi Deshpande ji, you're the best, and I'm so happy that you're getting the Lifetime Award. Mubarak bahut bahut. Hello? That was the end of my speech.
Ma'am, I would request you to kindly take your seat because I am going to call you. I don't want you to be standing for so long also. We will be calling you. We love you on stage though, but we will call you again when, of course, we will be giving the awards. A big round of applause for our chief guest today. Wouldn't want you to be standing for so long. Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. You've been truly inspiring. Well, the past few years have been incredible, and we attempted to capture the journey of the Author Awards, which celebrate women in literature. And let me show it to you through a small audio-visual presentation. Can we have the AV, please?
From time immemorial, the power of pen has been instrumental in defining the growth and development of civilizations. Pen is that magical weapon which will always be mightier than the sword. The time has come to celebrate it with style.
बाबुल जिया मोरा घबराए बाबुल जिया मोरा घबराए.
Let us pay an ode to those stories, sagas and tales that yearn to stand out amidst the clutter. Presenting the 4th Grand Edition of Author Awards, an initiative of JK Paper and the Times of India. Awards that celebrate writing brilliance by bringing together works of marvel that have been chosen by our esteemed jury panel with utmost diligence. With progression and participation growing from first season shows the growing curve over the years. So, let's come together to salute the extraordinary caliber of bright and talented women writers who have proved their mettle against all odds.
Yes, I think that deserves a big round of applause. The 4th edition of the JK Paper Author Awards. Thank you so much for being here. Well, as mentioned in Vinita ji's address and highlighted in the Journey AV, the Author Awards have had an exceptional jury panel who generously contributed their valuable time and effort to meticulously review numerous entries and select the best ones. We express our heartfelt gratitude to the jury for their dedicated efforts and unwavering support towards this initiative. Can we have the AV, please?
Jury panel for fiction category. Sonali Bendre, a well-known actress with several blockbusters and awards to her credit, also an author running her own book club since 2017. Jonathan Gill Harris, an author of several best-selling books, he is a writer and teacher. Navdeep Sarna, a seasoned diplomat and author of several novels and short stories. Jury panel for non-fiction category. Dr. Vikram Sampath, recipient of Sahitya Akademi Yuva Puraskar and author of several acclaimed best-selling works. Ramesh Sharma, recipient of 6 national awards, an author and film producer and director. Prabha Chandran has been an editor with some of India's leading newspapers and magazines. Jury panel for debut category. Preeti Paul, a prominent business leader, founder and creative director of Oxford Bookstore and founder festival director APJ Kolkata Literary Festival. Lilith Dubey, a renowned Indian film, television and stage actor and a theatre director. Sunit Tandon, a well-known media personality, director of the India Habitat Center and president of the Delhi Music Society. Jury panel for children category. Ranjit Lal, an award-winning children's author with more than 45 books to his credit. Swati Roy, the owner of Eureka, the only specialist children's bookstore in Delhi and founder, director of Bookaru. Dalbir Kaur, a literacy and library consultant and educational entrepreneur, the director of One Up Library, Book Studio and the Learning Lab.
A A big round of applause for our jury who's seated here at this table right here. Can we have the spotlight? We would love everybody to see our beloved jury, our esteemed jury who worked really, really hard to get the winners to this podium, to this very respectable platform. Thank you so much to our jury. A huge round of applause for them, please. Thank you. I would now like to invite Mr. Partha Biswas, Chief Sales and Marketing Officer, JK Paper, and Mr. Ajay Iyer, Senior Vice President, The Times Group, on stage to felicitate the eminent jury members. I think everybody who comes on stage deserves an applause. How about that? I would now like to invite the jury for the children's category, and I would request our jury members to kindly come up on stage as I announce their names. I would request Mr. Ranjit Lal, Ms. Dalbir Kaur, and Ms. Swati Roy to kindly come up on stage. Ms. Roy could not join us this evening as she is out of the country, but we have our other jury members. Can we have a big round of applause for our jury members for the children's category, a most beloved category. Can I request our jury chair, Mr. Ranjit Lal, to kindly say a few words, sir?
No, I think it's fine. Well, good evening, everybody. And I always thought that the children's category is the most important one. Because if we didn't get children to read, or kids, they wouldn't read as adults, what would all writers then write about? I mean, they'll have no readers. Because if you haven't read as a child, you're not going to read as an adult. So I am so happy that children's books have got this category, and we hope that there will be many more authors writing for children. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Lal. Thank you, Ms. Kaur. Thank you, sir. Thank you to our jury for the children's category. I request you to kindly take your seats. Thank you so much. I am now going to invite on stage the jury for the debut category, and I would request Ms. Preeti Paul, Mr. Suneet Tandon, and Ms. Lilette Dubey to kindly grace the stage. Can we have a big round of applause to welcome our jury for the debut category? I would now like to request our jury chair, Preeti Paul, ma'am. Can you please come up and say a few words, please?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. As someone who sells, buys, and read books every day, I was really thrilled that the Times of India and JK Papers have included this category of debut author, because I think it's really important to encourage new writers and give them the recognition that they deserve for firstly being able to complete a book, then getting it published. These are all really giant steps. I've always thought that a debut novel is slightly autobiographical in nature, and I think my jury members and I were surprised to see the range of topics. And one of the things we realized is that these are the issues that are concerning our younger generation. So there were topics all the way from, coming out, being queer, or how to combine religion and modernity, and also surprisingly there were a lot of whodunit mystery novels as a first book. So I think, as Shabana ji said, it's really the women's gaze, the young women's gaze that we encountered when we were reading our debut novels. It was really enlightening to see such great writing, and I also want to say that I really enjoyed collaborating with my jury members. It was a really nice process. We talked a lot about books. We read a lot about, we read a lot of books, sometimes reading frantically, through late night sessions and trying to get, to a consensus. I would like to thank the Times of India for this great effort, and JK Papers, and for hosting this fantastic evening. So thank you very much to our lovely audience and our sponsors.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. A huge round of applause for our jury for the debut category. Thank you. May I request you to kindly take your seats? Thank you. Moving on, I would now like to invite the jury for the non-fiction category, namely Dr. Vikram Sampath, Mr. Ramesh Sharma, and Prabha Chandran. Can we have all of you on stage, please, accompanied by a big round of applause? Jury for the non-fiction category. Dr. Vikram Sampath, our jury chair, to kindly say a few words.
A very good evening to everyone. It's a great pleasure, an honor to have been a part of this wonderful non-fiction jury panel with two outstanding members who've now become dear friends, Ramesh and Prabha. Prabha also broke her wrist, as you know, heavy lifting literally all the 17 books that we had to judge over a span of just a couple of weeks. In fact, when Vinita told us about this, it was quite a harrowing, experience that we had to read so much in such a, short span of time. And I remember after a few mails where we were so flustered, we got on to our first Zoom call. And the very first thing that Ramesh told us then, just when we were going to start the meeting, was, I can feel the earth shaking. I think there was an earthquake that day in the NCR region. So if any one of us had any doubts in our mind that we were off to some earth-shattering business, I think quite onomatopically, Mother Earth was also giving us an affirmative thumbs up there. Yes. And for the two, horribly tech-challenged men who could not even, set up a Zoom call properly, it was Prabha and also Ramesh's daughter who saved the day for us in all those meetings. And over the next several weeks, we read frantically, as the other jury members also mentioned. It was almost like a return to student days in the midst of my own book tours. I remember reading books in airport lounges, on car journeys and all of that, because we had to finish. But then to put a kind of a method to the madness, we came out with 4 criteria on which we were going to select the books. And since it was non-fiction, non-fiction, the quality and the depth of the research was very important. What were the new sources that were unraveled? What is the kind of, leg work that's been done, field research and so on, and anything new that's been discovered and unearthed. So that was our first category. The second was the newness of the topic. In non-fiction, it tends to get very repetitive and formulaic. So was there something new and fresh that the author had brought to the table through her work? That was also very important for us. The third thing, if I recollect, was the narrative, because you can do a lot of research, but how interesting and how can you hold the attention of the reader? That was something that we wanted to evaluate. And lastly, of course, since it's a book, the writing style and the kind of prose and the turn of phrase and all of that. So these were the 4 categories on which we decided to judge the books, giving them 10 points each, and so all of them were for 40 points. And later on, quite surprisingly, when we put all our scores on a spreadsheet, the spread was between 24 to 32. That was the range of all the books. So to quote that often cliched kind of a jury voice that it was so tough to choose the books, they were all so difficult, they were all winners, the numbers were actually speaking that for themselves, and that cannot be false. So I hope we've made a good choice there. And finally, as all the others have mentioned, I think it's a great initiative for which we need to immensely thank the Times of India group, to JK Paper, Vinita and her entire team. Shabana ji is sitting here, and so I think, as Vinita mentioned, there has to be a couplet that one has to recite. And I'm reminded by the heavy lifting. We were crying for 17 books. If there were 1900 books that had to be gone through, our effort doesn't seem too much. So for the kind of efforts that they have done, I think what Sahir Ludhianvi had said, जो साज से निकली है वो धुन सब ने सुनी है, जो साज से निकली है वो धुन सब ने सुनी है, पर जो तार पे गुजरी है वो किसको पता है. So I think a huge round of applause to all the team members who put the Author Awards together and made it such a success. It's easy to start something, but to keep it running, to keep it going, and the 2 major IPs that Vinita has so successfully launched, the Times Lit Fest and the Author Awards, I think these are landmarks in India's literary landscape, for which we need to thank her. Thank you once again. It's a great honor and privilege for all of us to have done this for the Author Awards.
Thank you, Dr. Sampath, for your kind words. And I think this jury really deserves a big round of applause. The kind of effort that has gone into reading all these books over such a short span of time is admirable. Thank you to our jury. Can I request you to kindly take your seats? And finally, inviting the jury for a very popular category, the fiction category. And for that, I would like to call upon Ms. Sonali Bendre, Jonathan, Jill Harris, and Navtej Sarna on stage, please. Our jury chair, Ms. Sonali Bendre, to kindly say a few words.
Good evening, everybody. Lots has been said, so very little for me to say here. But I would like to say that, first of all, I would like to thank Vinita, because when she started this initiative, my book club, which turns 6 this year, was a part of this endeavor, and it has been so heartening to see how this effort has grown and how people have joined in and how many authors have come in. So Times Group and JK Papers, I think it's a fantastic initiative, and a big round of applause for them, please, first. So like I said, fourth year, fourth season, and we've seen the numbers grow in a huge way. I loved the idea when Times and Vinita's team came to me and said that, this is the idea. And I said, definitely I agree with the fact that, we don't need a separate thing. I mean, women authors have their voice and can stand in competition with anybody, but a little bit of spotlight is always welcome, and especially to marginalized voices. This is a most welcome change, and I really appreciate how this has grown, and I hope it continues to grow. This is a bit of a fangirl moment for me because a lot of authors here who I'm a big fan of, so I'm enjoying the evening, and I hope you all enjoy it too. Before I end it, a few things about my jury members with me. I think I was the most difficult one on this, and I am technologically challenged, and and suddenly, as happens in our line of work, either there's a dry run and there's a dry spell where you have no work, or otherwise you're inundated with it. And this was that period where I was suddenly inundated with it, thank God for that. But I was just like completely swamped with work. And thank you for your patience and for bearing with me. But I must say one thing, that all three of us, we were reading a lot, but the thing that we didn't have to worry about was arguing about anything, because we were pretty much on the same page on our long list, on our short list, and on our winner. So thank you for that, and it has been an immense pleasure to be on this jury with you, and thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. I will quickly do the customary photo op. Thank you to our jury for the fiction category. Thank you. Thank you, Partha. Thank you, Ajay. I would request you to kindly take your seats. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we all have been waiting for. We're about to begin announcing the winners of the JK Paper Times of India Author Awards. But before I continue, let's give a huge round of applause for all the nominees, all the people who sent their entries in, because it's been a tough task and a grueling process, but we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. I would like to invite back on stage Shabana Azmi ji and Mr. H.P. Singhania along with Mr. Ashok Bindra to present the awards. The first category is my favorite category, the Best Author Children's category. I think that deserves an applause. It's my favorite category. I think I speak for a lot of people here. Can we have the nominations, please?
Nominations for the Best Children's Author are Bijal Vachirajni for her book Savi and the Memory Keeper, publisher Hachette India. Mandira Shah for her book Children of the Hidden Land, publisher Speaking Tiger Books. Vaishali Shroff for her book Batata Pav and All Things Portuguese, publisher People Place Project.
And can we have the winner envelope, please?
Best Author Children winner, Bijal Vachirajni, book name Savi and the Memory Keeper. बहुत बहुत मुबारक. It's a tie, and so joint winners Vaishali Shroff for Batata Pav and all things Portuguese. Is there something that you all were sitting together, you knew that you were going to be joint winners? Rooting for each other.
It's a mutual admiration club. But what a fantastic thing, the first award of the evening, and it's a tie.
Congratulations, guys.
Ms. Bijal Vacharajani has also won in the children's category in the first edition of the Times Author Awards. So a big round of applause for Bijal. This is the second award for her for the JK Paper and Times Author Awards. Other winner, Vaishali Shroff. We would love for you to join in, Vaishali. I would request our winners to kindly say a few words. And Vaishali, we would love to hear from you. How has the process been and how are you feeling right now? What a shocker to be announced as a later. Congratulations, Bijal, and congratulations, Mandira, on a smashing debut. Thank you, Author Awards, Times of India Group, JK Papers for this, for acknowledging a non-fiction title for children, and that too about a neglected colonial history that lasted more than 5 centuries in our country. It's one of the first books written from an Indian perspective on the Portuguese history of India, and I'm so proud that it's got this platform. I'd love to acknowledge and thank my publisher Nisha Nair Gupta from the People Place Project for her faith and support in this book. This book actually started out as, it was called Bombayam, which is what the Portuguese called Bombay, and it was only about the Portuguese history of Bombay. But when I started writing it and I started doing more and more research, and I realized that I cannot write about Bombay in isolation, and before I knew I was writing about the whole country. So, and I'd like to thank Suhariya Skopatkar, the illustrator who's made this book a visual delight, and I hope you guys get a chance to read it. Yes, thank you so much. This is such an honor, and woohoo! Congratulations and best wishes to all the nominees and winners. Thank you so much.
Firstly, congrats again, Vaishali. And, I've always believed something that every child is born, and it's something that Rachel Carson used to say, that every child is born with an inherent sense of wonder about the natural world. And all she needs, and she said she needs the company of an adult, but I believe that the child also needs the company of a book to keep that sense of wonder alive in them. So thank you, Author Award, Times of India, JK Paper, Vinita, Rima and team, the loveliest jury of Ranjit, who writes my favoriteest ever books, Swati, who constantly inspires us with her books, with her work with Bookru and Eureka, and Dalbir with all your amazing work with One Up Library. Tree hugs to you, Mandira. And you know, every tree has a grove, and mine is the friends who believed in it. Nimmi, my editor, who commissioned it first, and she's here. Aparna, Dipanjana, Shinibali, Rajiv, who drew that magnificent cover. My family, my agent Kanishka, and Vatsala, who championed the book at Hachette and Team Hachette. Thank you so much. Savi's story has found resonance with fellow grievers. It's actually been a book that strangers have written to me talking about their grief and the memories that they have kept with them. And for me, that's a reminder that children's books matter. Children's books about nature matter, especially in the time of the Anthropocene. And Abhiyan, the last time I dedicated this book for you, the last award for you, you didn't read this book. But again, this one's for you and also all of us who are grieving someone, the memory keepers. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations to the winners. I would request you to kindly take your seats. Can we have a big round of applause for our winners, please? For our first category for the evening. It's a lovely tie. Moving on to our second category, which is the best debut. Can we have the nominees, please?
Nominations for the Best Author Debut are Niti Shroff Shah for her book The Death of Kirti Kadakia, A Temple Hill Mystery, publisher Bloomsbury, India. Pranoti Datta for her book Half-Blood, publisher Speaking Tiger Books. Vohini Vara for her book The Immortal King Rao, a novel, publisher HarperCollins, India.
Can we have the winner envelope, please?
Any guesses? Best Author Debut winner, Vohini Vara, The Immortal King Rao, a novel. Congratulations.
Vohini Vara, unfortunately, Vohini, who is in Madrid right now, was unable to join us this evening. But congratulations, Vohini, and she has sent us a lovely message. Can we hear the message, please?
What an honor it is to be selected for this special award and to be recognized alongside fellow finalists whose work I either already admire or am looking forward to getting to know. Thank you so much to all of the judges and to JK Paper and the Times of India, not only for choosing The Immortal King Rao as your winner in this category, but more broadly for recognizing the value of literature written by women. I'd also like to thank my publisher in India, HarperCollins, as well as everybody at HarperCollins India, and in particular my editor, Rahul Soni, for your enthusiasm and creativity in publishing and getting the word out about this novel. I'm so sorry I can't be there in person, but I'm celebrating with all of you in spirit, and I'm sending my congratulations to all of the finalists and winners.
Thank you, Vohini, and congratulations once again. Rightly said, the publisher is really important for the success of any book. And can I request Mr. Anand Padmanabhan, CEO of HarperCollins, to kindly accept the trophy on behalf of Vohini. Can we have you on stage, Mr. Anand? Can we have a big round of applause for our representatives of Vohini who will be taking. We have with us Ms. Paulomi Chatterjee from HarperCollins to accept the award on behalf of Vohini. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Congratulations, HarperCollins and Vohini. At this point, I would like to thank Mr. Ashok Bindra, sir. Kindly request you to kindly take your seat. Thank you, sir. We now move on to our third category, which is the Best Author Non-Fiction. Can we have the nominees, please?
Nominations for the Best Author Non-Fiction are Aparna Piramal Raji for her book Chemical Khichdi, How I Hacked My Mental Health. Publisher Penguin Random House, India. Barkha Dutt for her book To Hell and Back, Humans of COVID. Publisher Juggernaut Books. Nandini Sen Gupta for her book Rani Durgavati, The Forgotten Life of a Warrior Queen. Publisher Penguin Random House, India.
Can we have the winner envelope, please?
Best Author Non-Fiction surprisingly goes to somebody we all expected, Barkha Dutt. Congratulations. To Hell and Back, Humans of COVID. The work that you have done is so amazing, and I'm so glad that you've documented it and put it in writing for all of us, because it's really amazing work that you've done.
Can we have a big round of applause for Barkha Dutt, winner of the Best Author Non-Fiction category? Can we have a few words? We cannot let you go without hearing you.
Thank you, Mr. Singhania. Thank you, Shabana. Very special to receive this from you. Thank you to the jury, to Vikram, Ramesh, Prabha. Thank you for reposing your faith in this book. Thank you to all of you this evening who are here. I won't keep this long except to say that even after 24 years of being a journalist, 2020 and 21 were probably the toughest years of my professional and personal life. Tougher than reporting war and conflict, which I've spent many years of my life doing. We were 4 people in a small Maruti Ertiga traveling the length and breadth of India, reporting the pandemic. We traveled from Delhi to Kerala, covering 30,000 kilometers, sometimes spending days on the road at once, 125 days I remember consecutively at one go. Somewhere along the way, reporting the pandemic, I lost my father, the news came home, I lost him to COVID. I became the story that I had been reporting, and the only way I knew how to deal with it was to go out and report again. This book is drawn from the stories of the people I met. It's a book about COVID, yes, but it's really partly a memoir, and above all, it's a story about India. So I want to thank the people who shared their stories with me at a very difficult time. There's also a lot of hope and optimism, I believe, in the book and in the story of India, the essential human kindness that we also saw in these 2 very difficult years. And I think it means a lot to me to be recognized. You know, we get jaded as we grow older in this profession, and like I feel like my life has been bookended from Kargil to COVID in some ways. So to be recognized for this among the work that I'm proudest of in my life means a lot to me. I love the jury, all of you, and again to Harsh and to Shabana, very special to receive this from all of you. This would not be complete without saying a very special thanks to Vinita for putting a fabulous event together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Barkha Dutt. A big round of applause for Barkha Dutt. Rightly said, from Kargil to COVID, we love your work. Moving on to the next category, which is the 4th category, which is the Best Author Fiction. Can we have the nominees, please?
Nominations for the Best Author Fiction are Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni for her book Independence. Publisher HarperCollins India. Janice Parriott for her book everything the light touches. Publisher, HarperCollins India. Neelanjana S. Roy for her book Black River. Publisher, Westland Books.
And can we have the winner card, please?
Best Author Fiction, Janice Pariyat, Everything the Light Touches. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Janice. Unfortunately, she could not join us this evening due to a personal emergency. I would like to call upon again Ms. Pauloma Chatterjee from HarperCollins to kindly come up on stage and take this award on Janice's behalf. A big round of applause for the publisher again, and of course for our author Janice, the winner of the Best Author Fiction category. And Janice has also sent us a video message. We will be playing it after this photo op. A big round of applause for the winner of the Best Author Fiction. Can we have the AV, please?
I'm so immensely thrilled and so immensely honored to be selected for this very special prize alongside writers who I've loved and admired for so many years. Thank you to the lovely jury, thank you to JK Paper and TOI for this recognition and for also celebrating women's writing in this way. I'd like to take a moment to thank and acknowledge my publishers, HarperCollins, my editor, Rahul Soni, for his enthusiasm and his belief in me and this book, my wonderful colleagues at Ashoka University, my friends and family back home and elsewhere. Writing is such a collaborative practice, and this book would not have come into being without the help and support of so many. I'm so sorry to not be there to celebrate with you tonight, and I'm really missing being there, but I'm sending you lots of love and lots of gratitude. Thank you once again.
Congratulations, Janice. Thank you so much, Paulomi, for taking this award on her behalf. Thank you, thank you. A big round of applause for the winner of this category, Janice, which is the Best Author Fiction. Now, moving on to our next category, which is the Popular Choice Awards, which has been quite popular because we have received entries running into tens of thousands. The Popular Choice recognizes the most loved story by avid readers. It invites the audience to vote for books by their favorite women authors. Books nominated by the authors, their friends and family are considered for this category. There were about 600 odd entries on the voting board, and we levied over 22,000 votes. Wow, astonishing, isn't it? I think that deserves a big round of applause. Like I said, it's a very popular category. And the entry that got the most number of votes will be revealed in just a few seconds. So can we have the winner card, please? Because there are no nominations for this one.
Popular Choice Award, Vaishnavi Roy for Unwind. Congratulations.
The winner is Vaishnavi Roy for her book Unwind, published by The Right Order. Can we have a big round of applause for our winner in the Popular Choice Awards, Vaishnavi Roy. Vaishnavi, we would love to hear a few words from you.
Good evening. First of all, thank you JK Papers and Times of India Group. Unwind the book Unwind is like very, very special to me. I started writing the book. Yeah, good. Okay, I'm really nervous right now. Yeah, so I started thinking about the book Unwind 2 years back, where we were talking a lot about mental health. So when we just talk about mental health, we realize that mental health is a global problem these days, and it's affecting people across age, gender, different occupation, different people, and it's a big problem. So I started finding gaps in these problems and dedicating my time to this book Unwind. It is a collective effort of several writers, and they have shared their lovely stories to inspire thousands of people. And that's about the book. But then I'd like to thank my father, who has always pushed me beyond my potential. My mother, it's actually her birthday today, and she's the one who pushed me to write. And to the team of Unwind, who have shared their stories, and to everyone who voted and thought this book is worth the award. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaishnavi, and congratulations again. Well, we now move on to our next award, which is a very, very special award. As mentioned before, we have introduced the Manuscript Award this year. And before we introduce our next award, may I please call upon the stage Sangeeta and Dipankar Mukherjee, the founder-directors of Readomania, along with Mr. A.S. Mehta, President J.K. Paper, to join Mr. Singhania and Shabana ji. Can we have a big round of applause for our guests joining us on stage to give away the next very special award? A new category has been introduced this year to recognize and inspire budding writers to let their imaginations soar. The best manuscript. The budding writer for the best manuscript gets a chance to get their work published by J.K. Paper, supported by Readomania. Readomania exists to nurture, curate, and bring to you content you love. It's a publishing house that takes pride in encouraging talent, new or old, and provides a wonderful platform for awesome stories. We would like to acknowledge and thank Ms. Himali Sodhi, who took on the daunting task of going through all the manuscripts. Himali is the founder of a suitable agency, which represents writers and advisors on communications and brand strategy. Himali has over 2 decades of experience in publishing, communications, and brand strategy. A big round of applause for Himali, please, first, for doing this really daunting and tough task. And now, can we have the winner envelope, please?
Best Manuscript winner, Aditi Shauman Narayan, with you right through. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Aditi. Unfortunately, Aditi was unable to join us this evening, but she has sent this lovely message. Can we have the AV, please?
To say that I am exalted at this moment would be an understatement. Thank you J.K. Paper and the Times of India for conferring the Best Manuscript Award to my labor of love, with you, right through. It is a huge shot in the arm for me to write more, write better, and bring to fore the thinking mind behind the facade of non-speaking autism. Last, but not the least, I dedicate the award to my mother. Emma, you are, therefore I am. Thank you.
I think this one deserves a very, very loud applause. In spite of all the limitations, this girl has soared high, overcome all those limitations. She's truly an inspiration, and for that, we have Aditi's father, Mr. Srinivasan Somanarayan, to accept the certificate of recognition. I think he deserves an even bigger round of applause because the parents are the backbone of the child, providing constant support, and this was massive support. A big round of applause, sir, and congratulations to you. I would request you to kindly say a few words.
So firstly, thank you, JK Paper and Times of India. The two most deserving people couldn't be here. First, of course, is my daughter, who's written the book. The second is my wife, who's actually been the constant companion for the last 17 years and kind of got Aditi to where she is today. Giving up her career and then making sure she spends time with her. But given the short notice, I was the only dispensable one, so I stand here taking the award on behalf of my daughter. But thanks a lot, this means a lot, and hopefully this will take her places. So thanks a lot, thanks again.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Please can we have
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. We also have a close second. I would request you to kindly stay back because we also have a close second. Himali, can we have you back on stage? We also have a close second in this category, and that is, loving the title, Throne of Dragonics by Ankita Pal. Can we have a big round of applause for our other winner in this category for the best manuscript, Ankita Pal. Ankita, how old are you, I would like to know?
16. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ankita Pal and I'm 16.
Wow, I think that deserves an applause. You've written a manuscript at 16. I don't know what I was doing at 16. Definitely not writing a manuscript.
No, probably that's the only thing I'm doing actually.
That's a great thing you're doing. Keep at it. I think we should encourage her. Keep at it.
First of all, I would like to thank Times of India and JK Paper for organizing such a beautiful event. And secondly, it's all about my parents and my family and all the friends who have been supporting me from online and my school. So thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Heidi, tell us a bit about your book because the title is very interesting.
Throne of Dragonics, it's about a fictional universe which is ruled by dragons. And they are cohabitating with some other species, and it's about a debate between a democratic and authoritative, means autonomy type of ruling, means it's a conflict between those two, and the people there, they are trying to find a line between them, how to manage both of them.
That is so impressive. Send it to me if you can, okay, later.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. A big round of applause for our budding writer here. Apologies. Well, that brings us to the end of these awards. A big round of applause for our dignitaries who have joined us on stage. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on stage. would request you to stay just for a little while, sir. We also have one last award, which is the Lifetime Achievement Award. Our next award, which is the last one for the evening, is the Lifetime Achievement Award. And for that, I would like to say a few words about our next winner. And for that, I would like to also invite Vinita Davra Nangya back on the podium to announce and share a few words on our pinnacle award of the evening. That is the Lifetime Achievement Award. Ma'am, can we have you back on stage, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is an absolute honor to announce the Author Awards 2023 Lifetime Achievement Award going to one of the most eminent novelists of contemporary Indian literature in English, Shashi Deshpande. Ms. Deshpande is a true trailblazer in the literary world and has captivated readers for decades with her writing. She received the Sahitya Academy Award in 1990 for her novel, That Long Silence, the highly coveted Padma Shri Award in 2009, and the Soy Samman, an award instituted by a group of Bengali women writers in 2013. Shashi Deshpande was brought up in a literary ambience. She is the daughter of Sanskrit scholar, novelist, actor and dramatist R.V. Jagirdar, Sriranga and Sharda Arya. At the age of 15, Shashi went to Mumbai, graduated in economics, then moved to Bangalore where she gained a degree in law. Her father had taught her Sanskrit. She also speaks Marathi and Kannada, is well versed in the huge realm of Indian mythology, which she reads against the grain through her own feminist position. But she writes in English. Her works have been translated into various Indian and European languages. The soul of a feminist and the spirit of a rebel come together in Shashi to give us some of her most spectacular work and characters. We marvel at her journey not just as a writer par excellence, but also as a woman writer who has always been conscious of the great injustice done to women through the ages. Through her writing, she has tried to make women's lives, which have always been considered insignificant, visible, and their voices, too long muted, heard. In Ms. Deshpande's own words, there are three things in my early life that have shaped me as a writer. These are that my father was a writer, that I was educated exclusively in English, and that I was born a female. Please join me in welcoming on stage our Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Shashi Deshpande. invite Shashi Deshpande ji to please come and say a few words.
We'll keep it to everyone. I'm suddenly feeling very old, being helped up the steps and this warm water for me, So forgive me if I sound a bit hoarse, there's some problem with my voice. I'll try to be loud. It's a great pleasure to be here, to be at the celebration of women's writing. And a Lifetime Achievement Award is very precious because it's your whole life's work which is being celebrated here. It's been wonderful. I was going to say something, but like Shabana said, that it's already been said by Vinita, it's already been said by you. So, I could have not spoken at all. But there are a few things I would like to say, and these are very personal things. When you speak of it in the abstract, I can tell you how it was for me as a person. And I think this is a good time for me to share. I won't be very long, don't worry.
You can be as long as you want.
The letter which informed me about the award wrote of the odds and inhibitions women writers have to endure. I think I could write a thesis on this subject because from the beginning I saw and experienced the belittling of women's writing. It was regarded as insignificant, trivial, it was ignored, dismissed, ridiculed, overlooked, marginalized, and stereotyped. Slightly kinder people told me that writing was a very good hobby for women. I must also be the one writer who most often asked the question by journalists and academics, why do you write about women? Novel after novel, I hoped I would be read as a serious writer, not as a woman writer writing about women, but it never seemed to happen. But today, when I look around me this evening and I look around me and I think of the three writers who received this award before me, Romila Thapar, Anita Desai and Nayanthara Sehgal, women of substance and courage, women I admire. When I think of Annie Ernaux, who's mentioned earlier, who got the Nobel Prize this year, she wrote only about women's experiences and she got the Nobel Prize. When I think of Gitanjali Shri, who wrote about women's lives and got the International Booker, I dare to hope that such questions will never again be asked of any writer who happens to be a woman. But I am not here to talk about victim stories. We don't want them now because it is an evening of celebration. I would rather speak of the joy I have had in reading and in writing and how those two have merged and made my life to me something which lifted it above the ordinary. That was for me the greatest joy in my life. I will speak about the friends I have made as a writer, giving me the kind of companionship which I could never have had when I was, as they say, only a housewife. One of the greatest boons of literature is that you don't have to go out in search of a guru. They come to you between the covers of books. I have learned much from various gurus, especially Jane Austen and Virginia Woolf. I have learned about the elegance of simplicity in language, the power of words used in the right place and the right context, the great value of the writing of women, and so much more. I do not know how many of my fellow writers will agree that these are difficult times for writers, but we do need to be aware that we have two enemies today. One is the commercialization of literature, and the other is intolerance. Commercialization means that a book is a product like any other and has to be sold in the same way. And that product, which makes the most money, becomes the king. The other enemy, intolerance, is much worse. It has led to horrors like the destruction of the Bamiyan Buddhas, the vandalizing of great paintings, protests against any book, film, drama, or any form of art which goes against the majority view, and of course, the pressure of social media, which people never had to endure before. This vicious development is called cancel culture, an ugly word for an ugly phenomenon. Writers need to have the courage to write what they believe in. They need to write what they want to. Ursula Le Guin, the American writer, non-fiction writer, said, literature is the only guide to the country we are visiting, which is life. We have to find out whether indeed we have this courage. We need to hope that publishers have the wisdom to publish all kinds of books, books which sell and books that matter. The greatness of literature, of any form of art for that matter, is that it allows for many views. No one view is sacrosanct. That is how it should be. I will end with thanking the Times of India, JK Papers, for this wonderful affirmation of the value of women's writing, for giving me the Lifetime Achievement Award, and I congratulate all the winners of this evening and thank the audience for listening patiently to me. Thank you all very much. There was more, but I will cut it out but anyway, I have been standing very long.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your vision, your wisdom, your craft, and of course your presence. Please put your hands together once again for Shashi Deshpande ji, the winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Author Awards. And that brings us to the end of yet another edition of the Author Awards. But before I request everyone to kindly take their places, I would request all of the jury members, all of the awardees to kindly join us on stage for one final photo op, for a lovely photo opportunity to capture this great moment of concluding this season of the JK Paper Presents Author Awards with the Times of India. Can we have... request all the jury members and the awardees, all of our winners, to kindly come up on stage, please. I would request everyone to kindly make a smaller group, please. We have such stalwarts of the industry. I would request everyone to kindly crouch together for a lovely little photograph. Can we have a big round of applause for this very special moment at Season 4 of the Author Awards, all our jury members, our esteemed jury members, and our winners. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I would request you to kindly take your seats now. Thank you for joining us. And before we end, I would request Mr. A.S. Mehta, President JK Paper, to kindly give the vote of thanks.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and it was a truly very inspiring and enriching evening. I was just recollecting the Season 1, Season 2 and Season 3. And Season 2 and 3, in fact, we were midst of the COVID. We were just before COVID and during the COVID also. We were so fortunate. that we could hold this, the 2 seasons. I would like to thank each one of you because the success of this event is because of your gracious presence today. Particularly, my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Shabana ji for gracing this occasion, and you truly represent the power of women. I take this opportunity to thank all the writers. In fact, during this season 4, in fact the number, we were expecting that it would be closer to 1,200, 1,300. We didn't imagine that this is going to cross and nearing 2,000 entries this year. So thank you, all the writers. And particularly I was thinking that all the time we thank all the writers. I thought that we must thank all the people behind them, all their support system, and thank you all the publishers, those who have helped these writers to get their books published. Yes, thank you. Once Steve Jobs said, the biggest influencer in the society is the storytellers. And we must thank all of them, those who are the storytellers. In fact, the tagline of JK Paper is creating lasting impression. And there can't be any better, I mean, the lineage and connection between all the authors who are creating impression in the society. The JK Paper started this. In fact, we thought this, and we were creating impression for the society, and we wanted to correct the impression also in the society. And that impression, because the people thought that the paper, when you produce, you destroy greening, you destroy environment, and you cut the trees. Let me tell you, the JK Paper is one company who is the wood positive, carbon positive. Imagine, this year we are going to plant more than 12 crore trees in the country. 12 crore. I am not talking 12,000 and 12 lakhs because people take credit of 1,000 tree plantation. I am saying 12 crore, over 12 crore trees are going to be planted, and you don't have to feel guilty when you use the paper. So this is what about the JK Paper. I must compliment all the award winners today, and compliments to all of them. And I hope the next season when we meet, we will have over 2,000 entries. And that would be the true testimony of this evening. My special thanks to Harshpati ji, who has been pushing us for this event and also creating one more impression in the industry for greening the environment, sustainability, and also helping all our farmer community. I must say that more than 75,000 farmers are part of JK Paper family today who are planting trees. At the end, I must thank Vinita ji, Times of India team, as well as my JK Paper team, who have been putting all the relentless efforts in making this event as a success. At the end, I'm just putting one quote. Diane Mary Child said, "A woman is the full circle. Within her is the power to create, nurture, and transform." With this, thank you.
Please, because we also have a few announcements to make. Thank you so much, Mr. Mehta, and thank you to JK Paper for this lovely initiative of starting these awards and also forwarding the cause of sustainability. I would request all the winners to kindly grace the stage one more time. We would require all the winners on stage, please, and take this very important photograph. Can we have the mutual admiration club sitting right next to each other, the winners, to kindly come up on stage, the first award of the evening, the tie, and of course followed by the rest of the awardees. Can we have you on stage, please, for a photo op? Welcome, ma'am, you lead the way and everyone will follow, for sure. All the awardees to kindly grace the stage. Don't be shy. You have worked really, really hard for this moment. So you deserve this award equally. The constant support. Also request the shortlisted candidates to please be present at near the stage, because we would request your presence for the next photo op, please. All the shortlisted candidates, if you can request you near the stage. I would request the winners to stay back because they will be joined by the shortlisted candidates. Can we have the shortlisted candidates on stage, please? And I also request our chief guest and Mr. H.P. Singhania to kindly join us on stage. All the shortlisted candidates, can we request you to come on stage, please? They deserve equal recognition and equal applaud. Thank you so much. A big round of applause for our nominees, our shortlisted candidates who have worked equally hard and deserve applause. I would also request our chief guest, Shabana Azmi ji, and ma'am, can we have you on stage one last time? And Mr. H.P. Singhania ji, can we have you on stage for one last lovely photo op? We do not want to let this moment go. And the winners, of course, the people of the hour. Can we have you back on stage, please? I would request them to be joined by the winners also. Can we have the winners on stage, please? After this photo op, I would request all the nominees and the winners to kindly scooch in together like a family. I would request the nominees and the winners to kindly take their seats again. I would request the JK Paper family, but I would request the chief guest and Mr. Singhania. Ma'am, everybody loves your presence. Everybody wants a picture with you. You can't blame us. The JK Paper family, can we have you on stage, please, for one last photo op? JK Paper team. JK Paper team, the force behind these awards. Can we have you on stage, please, with our chief guest and Mr. Singhania? Sonali Bendre, ma'am, can we have you on stage as well? Your presence is required. I would appreciate your fans to leave you just for a few moments so that we can have your presence on stage. Thank you so much. Mr. Mehta, you are an integral part of this team, so kindly join in. And can I request the JK Paper family to kindly take their seats back, because I would request the Times of India family for one last photo op. A big round of applause to the Times of India family for making this possible. Can we have you on stage, please? Yes. Where is that applause? TOI. Can we have the TOI team? The Times team on stage, please. And I would be applauding for you this time, because I'm also partly part of your team now. I would request our guests, can I request our guests to kindly, I think that was it's a Request all of the guests to kindly leave the stage, please. Apart from the Times of India family, Mr. Singhania, and our chief guest, Shabana Azmi ji, can I request everyone else to kindly take their places back on the floor? Can I request Sonali Bendre ji? Ma'am, can we have you back on stage for one last photo of Sonali ji? Sonali Bendre ji, can we have you one last time? Sorry, ma'am. Okay then, one last amazing picture with the TOI family. Shabana Azmi ji, can we have you in the picture, please? Vinita ji. The whole TOI family, can I request all the guests to kindly vacate the stage? Where is the rest of the Times of India team? Times of India team, raise your hands so we can spot you. Kalpana, Smita, Ali, where art thou? Akshay, Gunjan, and Surbhi. Vinita ji would like your presence. Surbhi and Gunjan, and all of the TOI family. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I would request everyone to kindly vacate the stage, and we officially end this evening. And I would request you to kindly join us for cocktails and dinner at the adjoining area. This is Pavleen Gujral signing off. I hope you had a great time. I had a fantastic time hosting this. Good night, Shabba Khair, adios.